Hello again, friends. I'm so proud of you. You made it to this point, and it is our ninth video. But interestingly enough, we're still not at the point where we're ready to do instruction yet. So I need to talk with you about a couple of other things, kind of housekeeping rules. There's some items that you're going to need. You should already have them at this point. And I'm going to explain to you how to navigate through them, the administrative processes, and so on and so forth. It's a very exciting time in your life. Now you're finally ready to engage on those self-control issues that may have hindered you in the past. Well, no more, right? So thank you so much for having enrolled in the class. Very excited for you. Again, this is Benjamin Apollos, the creator of the Master Self-Control System and Club Self-Control, Inc. Now, I will start off by letting you know about the number one text that you're going to need, and that's the Master Self-Control book. It's the original version. Now, this one has some biblical influence now, so we have another one that's called a philosophical version. It's actually a yellow one. Okay, so it takes all the scripture out, but it's the same data, so on and so forth. You kind of get the picture. So you will definitely need this book, okay? Because this is the Master Self-Control book itself, the textbook. Okay. In addition to that, you're gonna need your life progress chart. Okay, in this chart, I've already explained to you the 7 models to the Master Self-Control System, and you'll progress through those, and those become more real to you, and have a better understanding of what it's literally talking about, and how to progress through the Master Self-Control up to the mature level, and eventually given for or paying it forward in level 7 or model 7 rather. Okay, so that's what the biblical version would look like. Generally, when you see the aqua blue, that's what you're going to be looking at. Now, the philosophical version, which is more secular, it speaks the language of the general populace, I would think. It's the same material, but the color is different. Okay, so you saw on the last banner that we showed you what that book looks like. All right, so it's the same thing, the life progress chart. Now, a couple other things that need to be concerned about, or interested in, rather, that you're going to need as far as the textbooks are concerned. Let me put a couple of these down. All right, so if you are an instructor, you become a licensed instructor, or you're going to go through the licensed instructor course, you're going to need this manual. This manual is almost 300 pages. It's the guideline or the guidebook to teaching when you teach the actual course, and you're supervising the process in a classroom setting. It could be for a company, a religious organization, an athletic organization, a community organization. Really interesting tool book, has everything that you need to be able to teach the course effectively, to help folks navigate through all the resources that are available. You also have to administer the covenant, the covenant agreements that helps people to understand that they need a partner in this process. Okay, and also you have to execute a covenant agreement as an instructor, so that you would stick to the principles to help people to reach their maximum goals, and that is to master self-control. Now, I kind of did you a favor as an instructor. I'm also giving you with the package is the quick reference guide. Okay, so what this has is it has all the covenant agreements in it, and have the to-the-point things that you need to follow, or issues you need to follow, guidelines you need to follow in order to help you make yourself successful. It talks about the shirts that are involved, awards, monetary gifts. It talks about compensation as an instructor. You'll find this very useful. All the useful forms you'll find out in here as well, to include assessments. Okay. Now, as an instructor, you will also need this book. So this manual right here. This manual is about 230 pages. It is the student member manual. So this is for the general populace of the Club Self-Control community, and the Master Self-Control students would need this manual. Okay. It has everything that you have in your instructor manual, but your instructor manual obviously has some more modules to help you to be able to navigate through teaching and syllabus and yada. You get it. So if you are a student or a member, you will have to have this manual in addition to your textbook, the very first one that I mentioned to you. So you will have this. Okay. All right. Okay, and you would also need your life progress chart. Now, as I mentioned before, if you are a philosophical student, whereas you're not in a religious community, your books would be, and your items in your text would be yellow. Okay, same design, everything, same data. It's just that we took the biblical reference out of there because sometimes people are not necessarily comfortable with that. And so anytime someone wants to engage in what we call the biblical reference part of the master self-control model, we definitely will invite them in and we will talk with them about the God that we serve. But it is definitely not something that we will press upon you. If you want to talk about it, we talk about it. You don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it. If you're in the philosophical study track, you're not even going to hear about God. Okay, so now, with all that said, okay, so what I want to talk with you about now is what self-control is, which you'll see in the first couple of chapters of the book, the textbook, and what self-control is not, and also some things that may hinder you from mastering self-control. So I'll be very brief with this. Well, self-control is a person who have completely subjected themselves to control in every venue, from their appetite to the way that they think, the way that they feel, how they manage their emotions, how they act, and the things that's in their heart. Okay? It is their entire being. They have all that under subjection. The person who's under self-control will earnest to do things the right way, that's honorable, that's ethical, and that's moral, no matter who's watching. Okay? They're the person that just has integrity. They will put themselves under complete subjection to ensure that they do right by others because they would want others to do right by them. That's the approach that they take. And so they consider it planting seed. Okay? They're sowing to reap the same thing or even better from where they're sowing. Do you get it? So that's the idea of the Master Self-Control program. And to get you to the third level, mature level self-control, the entire point of this is to help you become a better person while on this earth so you can get anything that you want. And I mean that. I mean anything that you want. You've already been in situations. If you're old enough, even a 2 or 3 year old, you're old enough to know that if you're able to keep your emotions under control, keep yourself under control, the entire world will open up to you. And not everything needs to be responded to, right? Not everything needs to be reacted to. Some things need to be answered. Some things need to be responded to. Some things don't. We get texts all day long that we don't respond to. So what's the difference? We get emails all day long that we don't respond to. So what's the difference, right? You manage self-control in those arenas. Why not manage it when somebody's trying to contact you or to interrupt your day or to disturb you directly? All right, so we're going to fix that. All right, I want you to get the very best out of life. That's what this is all about. Get the very best out of life. Let people know that you don't have to respond to biases. You don't have to respond to bigotry. You don't have to respond to discrimination. You don't have to respond to racism. You don't have to respond to sexism. You don't have to respond to job discrimination, all in a way that is going to cause you to be irrational and cause people feel like they have a reason, now even more of a reason, an excuse, and motivate them, energize them to treat you even worse and to definitely lock you out. Because that's oftentimes what they're trying to do. They're trying to frustrate you. Well, we're going to ensure that you don't get to that place so that you can have the very best that this world has to offer. Okay? The other thing is this. What self-control is not is a person who's completely irrational, a person who can't not be reasoned with, a person who is very boisterous. They're disturbed. They like to disturb the peace. They like to be the center of attention. If they don't get what they want, they kind of, what we would say, lose their mind. All right, they're not the kind of person that you want to spend any time around. And some of us have relatives like that. Some of us have really good friends like that, which may want to rethink. Some of us have co-workers, business partners, church members, leaders in our lives. Is that right? Some of us have coaches in our lives that behave in a way that's irrational. They don't have any self-control. Yeah, sometimes people rise to power who don't have any self-control. Matter of fact, it happens quite often. It's kind of sad. We're seeing the world being disturbed as bad as it is now here in 2022 because people just literally don't want to exercise any self-control. And because of that, people are affected in a negative way. And we want to make sure that that's not you, okay? All right, and so the third thing I want to mention here is when you look at the issues of self-control, sometimes we're affected by the way we feel. So these are things that can interrupt or disrupt our ability to exercise self-control. How we feel physically, all right? What's in our bank account, all right? How somebody just treated us, how we grew up. All these things could be hindrances to the role of mastering self-control. Now, we're fixing that for you. We're giving you specific guidelines throughout the entire course to help you to manage those things. But we have to first start with the LEP model, the Life Experience Platform that I mentioned in video 2. All right, it's model 1, the LEP model, Life Experience Platform. We help you to first get to know who you are. It's extremely critical that you be honest with yourself, be honest with the people that are around you, the people that you'll be confronted with directly and or indirectly, around your family, leaders, or where you may be a leader. You need to be extremely honest with what's going on, and don't concern yourself with criticism, because you'll break through all that once you reach the levels of favor and prosperity and overflow, okay, and healing even in your physical body. All right, so don't get concerned about what people think. The comments that they may make, they make them anyway, right? You do good, they comment. You do bad, they comment. You do good, they complain. You do bad, they complain. So what's the point? All right, the point is this. You can do this. You will do this. And I look forward to you in this next short video where I just talk with you a little bit about the structure of what the textbook has to offer and what to expect in the course. So stay tuned.